Coming up next on Grady Newsource, President Trump signs the Laken-Riley Act, what it means for immigration policy.
In a few moments, the Laken-Riley Act will become the very first bill that I proudly sign into law as the 47th President of the United States.
Local police say they've never seen a case before like this one in the making of meth.
The neighbors come out when they saw the first fire truck and ambulance get there, and then when a hazmat team from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation shows up, yeah, they were concerned.
And with growing concern for school safety, new security measures are in place. Up next on Grady Newsource, I'm Holly Kate O'Brien.
And I'm Olivia Bontempo.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College of the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
Concerns for safety in schools have prompted shifts in policy, staffing, and technology across the state of Georgia.
We'll hear from reporters Tom Vigodral and Jack Keys on the latest next.
In less than an hour, a meeting to discuss the placement of school resource officers in all 12 schools.
Advocates for this shift hope to prevent another incident like the Appalachia High School shooting from ever taking place again.
Oconee County reporter Tanvi Gujral joins us now in the News Source room live with the latest updates.
Thanks, Olivia and Holly Kate. I will be going to that meeting at 6 p.m. today at the Commissioner's office. Former Clark Central High School principal and former superintendent Dr. Jim Willis has experience with having SROs on campus. Back to you, Olivia and Holly Kate.
Reporter Jack Keys was on the ground in Madison County this morning learning more about Centegic's Crisis Alert, a push-button alert system that continues to gain popularity, not only in Georgia, but around the country. The Madison County School District is one of the most recent to invest in the product, but how does it work?
Yeah, that's right, Holly Kate. Crisis Alert is a push-button alert system that can be worn around the neck, and it triggers two types of alerts. To trigger a staff alert for isolated emergencies that require assistance, you can press the badges button 3 times. But continuing to press the button will result in a campus-wide alert in the event of a widespread event where lockdown is required.
How has implementation of Crisis Alert gone in Madison County, and what other schools are using this technology, Jack?
So implementation in Madison County officially began on January 14th, and 2 weeks later, training is still taking place as Crisis Alert is not in full use quite just yet. Through implementing Crisis Alert, though, Madison County joins the already 80% of public schools in Georgia that use Crisis Alert, including Appalachia High School, where local officials praised the alert system after September's school shooting.
This marks the first full week that all 3 Barrow County schools are operating with the open gate system. The Barrow County Board of Education unanimously approved the purchase of the system earlier this month. Appalachia High School was the first to get the system in place. Grady Newsource reporter Anna Sjogren shows you the changes that have taken place since the shooting at Appalachia High School last September that cost 4 lives.
Already able to scan all their students and all their bags in under 30 minutes to start the school day.
That's around 1,900 students here at Appalachia High School alone. It takes 3 staff members to operate one machine. With 6 or 7 devices per school, that's roughly 20 staff members needed every morning.
And staff has implemented that very efficiently. I'm very proud of the work that they've done and the fact that they are using that as an opportunity to really welcome kids to campus each morning.
These aren't the only steps the school system is taking to keep the students safe. Working with Sheriff Judd Smith, they plan to hire more school resource officers, 2 for each high school and 1 for every middle and elementary school.
In our situation, the exponential growth that has happened here has choked us out a little bit as far as bringing more people in here.
But there's more to school safety than machines and security officers. There are frightening memories to confront and spaces and sounds that trigger them.
One of the things that people remarked on September 4th was gunshots don't sound like gunshots when they're indoors. They sound very different. And what was happening to a lot of our students and staff was, as students in the weight room dropped plates, as they dropped bars, the sound was extremely reminiscent of a gunshot on that day.
To help the school community move forward, new classroom pods have been added to replace the 12 classrooms lost in the September 4th incident. Science labs near the shooting site are being redecorated to create a fresh and supportive environment. There's also a contract in place with the Georgia Northeast Medical Center to bring in a full-time clinician dedicated to supporting the staff at Appalachian High School. This plan is set to be approved at the Board of Education meeting on February 4th of 2025. And on a lighter note, this photo, the Appalachian High School now has a therapy dog to help with the healing process. This dog's name's Bo. The students and staff say Bo has already made a positive impact, offering comfort and support during a difficult time. Back to you, Holly, Kate, and Olivia.
Awesome.
That story and more when we come back.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back. Reporter Alana Jacobs gives us more information on the Laken-Riley Act and its impact on the Athens-Clarke community. This memorial sits beside Lake Heron. It's made up of the pieces of Laken-Riley's life, running shoes, a half marathon medal, and a cross-country team shirt. All memories of how Laken lived.
Her murder on the morning of February 22nd, 2024, committed by an undocumented immigrant from Venezuela, sent shockwaves through Athens and beyond. Enough for the Laken-Riley bill to be Trump's first signed piece of legislation. Today, students at the University of Georgia have reflected on that day.
I do. I was actually coming back from work, and I had just parked at my house when I looked at my phone and I saw it on TikTok. And then I went inside, and me and my roommate talked about it, and we were really scared.
The bill has also sparked feelings of concern from the mayor's office.
Local police say they've never seen a case like this before, one in the making of meth. The details when we come back from break.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You're home before sunrise, on top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Athens-Clarke County plans to add more public electric vehicle charging stations with a $6 million grant. Reporter Blake Cavanis has more information on what changes are coming down the road.
Electric vehicles are everywhere in Athens, and the need for charging stations is on the rise. The Charging and Fueling Infrastructure Grant gives Athens-Clarke County a $6 million budget to build 20 direct current fast chargers and 38 level 2 chargers at 14 locations in the county.
We're not in any illusion that someone who's struggling to pay rent or pay for groceries is going to get up and buy an EV. But all but 2 of the locations where we are going to install EVs are in Justice 40 tracts, which are kind of traditionally disadvantaged areas marked by the census.
Some of these locations already host chargers, such as Bishop Park and Athens-Clarke County Library, while others will get their first stations, like the Athens Ben Epps Airport.
Really, this is about the planning process because we expect growth online with national averages.
There are currently 20 public locations, with many more being private at hotels and businesses.
Going here is fine. I think this is the closest to us, and it's 1.5 miles, 2 miles probably. But it's fine. It charges really fast, and it's next to a grocery store, so it works out.
I spoke to some Athens locals who said charger availability isn't a major issue, but would like to see more chargers in Athens.
I said there's a lot on campus, but probably some better ones there. They're really slow, so it takes about like 15 hours to charge your car there, so maybe there.
But as far as the city's concerned, around the campus, making it easier for them and maybe closer to some of the more populated neighborhoods.
The University of Georgia has 6 charging stations at parking decks like Tate, where there are 4 chargers available. The Sustainability Department must sign a formal agreement in hopes that funding can turn to action by early fall of 2025. This is Blake Cavanis with Grady Newsource.
A 62-year-old female commits murder with a baseball bat in Madison County during a family violence dispute. Eddie Newbert with more on that story.
According to this incident report, the victim stated that Rebecca Burgess beat her up with a baseball bat and left the victim with a bloody hand, hurt leg, and a large knot on top of her head. The victim later succumbed to her injuries at Piedmont Athens Regional Hospital. A local mental health specialist says it's not the anger, it's what we do with it.
You know, it's an emotion, and it's what we do with our anger. And when anger gets to the point of being inflicted on somebody else, then it becomes a problem.
According to a graphic provided by the Georgia Commission on Family Violence, Madison County has some of the most incidents of family violence per capita in the state of Georgia.
For the most part, mental health, just in the last, I'd say 5, 6, 7 years, has really evolved into a safer topic for people to talk about and to address.
Despite data indicating growing methamphetamine use across younger age groups, the city of Jefferson had not seen many cases. But a recent explosion involving meth may have shifted the viewpoint on some Jefferson residents. Gunter Schroeder has more from Jackson County.
In the quiet of the early morning hours 2 Saturdays ago in this Jefferson neighborhood, police were called to an explosion at one house here. When police arrived on the scene, Jefferson Police Chief Joe Worthman saw something he had not seen in over 18 years in his post.
We've had, of course, meth cases, but never where the guy making the meth or the person making the meth had it explode on.
The investigation that followed meant the arrival of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation to the scene. And as expected, many neighbors, like Jay Braver, were shocked to see the aftermath.
Surprise. We were surprised to see that much police activity in downtown Jefferson.
When they saw the fire truck and ambulance get there, and then when a hazmat team from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation shows up, yeah, they were concerned.
But Braver has faith the local area will bounce back from the incident.
No, I wouldn't say this is going to affect our reputation. So on average, I think Jefferson is still pretty safe.
Gunter Schroeder, Grady Newsource.
Well, you know what they say, if you don't succeed, try and try again. After narrowly missing passing Medicaid legislation in committees last year, this year the Georgia Democrats believe they have the support necessary to get Senate Bill 50, titled Peach Care Plus, to the chamber floor. Reporter Shelby Watson has the details.
Thanks, Holly Kate. The expansion of Medicaid means states expanding their Medicaid healthcare programs to cover every person or household who live below a certain income. Senate Bill 50 aims to expand coverage to Georgians earning up to 138% of the federal poverty limit. Georgia is one of only 10 states that have not fully expanded Medicaid. A 2022 CDC report released that the percentage of uninsured adults under 65 was 19.2% in Georgia, almost 7 percentage points above the national average, and at least 8 rural hospitals in Georgia have closed since 2010. The bipartisan bill has several Republican senators signed on as sponsors. However, Governor Brian Kemp rejected traditional Medicaid expansion in August of last year in favor of personalized approaches like the Patients First Act. Although the bill has just been filed, we will continue to provide coverage on it as it passes or it fails.
Olivia, what's the weather looking like the rest of the week?
Well, Holly Kate, I'll update you more on that when we get back from this quick break.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far. A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
Your home before sunrise. On top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
It's sunny skies here in Athens, Georgia. As the sun sets, we can expect to see winds around 5 miles per hour as temperatures drop into the high 30s tonight. If you're worried about the cold temperatures, don't worry, because we will be seeing high temps in the 60s on Thursday. As we look to the end of the work week and into the weekend, expect to see showers on Friday. With the rain will come wind gusts reaching as high as 25 miles per hour, along with the high temperatures near 68 degrees. Friday evening, temperatures will drop to the low 40s with a 20% chance of showers before 1 a.m. Don't worry about a rainy weekend because the sun is expected to come out Saturday. With sunny skies and temperatures in the mid-60s, Saturday will be a perfect day to spend some time outside. Moving into Sunday, expect to see some similar conditions as Saturday with sunny skies and highs in the mid-60s. Now to Holly Kate, who has more on how the wildfires in California are having effects here in Georgia.
Thanks, Olivia. Looking forward to that sunshine. Speaking of weather, California wildfires have been dominating headlines. And as a leading state in timber production, Georgia's Forest Protection Chief Thomas Barrett has this to say.
Our experience in Georgia, when we get into really extreme fire conditions, that is usually in the fall, and that kind of coincides with leaf fall up in the mountains. You have fires and they can behave pretty erratically, and especially where there's steep slope involved.
For residents seeking to protect their homes and land, Barrett says clearing debris near the property will create a defensible space, allowing homeowners more time to respond to a potential fire. Officers in all 12 schools.
Advocates for this shift hope to prevent another incident like the Appalachia High School shooting from ever taking place again.
Oconee County reporter Tom Vigadral shows us now in the newsroom live with the latest updates.
We apologize for the technical difficulties. Former Clark Central High School principal and former superintendent Dr. Jim Willis has experience with having SROs on a daily basis. He detailed his time working with school resource officers on campus.
We apologize with technical difficulties.
After the break, I'm going to throw an alley-oop to Holly Kate, who's going to have more on the world of sports. We'll be right back.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers. He connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason. Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far.
A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call.
Welcome back to Grady Newsource. I am here to fill you in on all things Georgia athletics. For it to be a Wednesday, a lot has happened this week, with even more things coming further in the week. The UGA men's basketball team beat the South Carolina Gamecocks last night 71-60. Coach Mike White changed the starting lineup for the first time this season in an effort to see if when Tyron Lawrence and Dakota LaFew flip-flopped, would they play better on the court? Well, given that the Bulldogs pulled through with a win, it is clear that that move worked. Yet the grind doesn't stop there. the team is headed to Tuscaloosa to go against number 4 Alabama on Saturday at 4 o'clock. And the wins keep coming for our Bulldogs. The women's tennis team punched its ticket to the 2025 ITA National Team Indoor Championships following a 4-0 sweep over Princeton on Sunday. The number 1 team is set to face their first ranked opponent of the spring this Saturday at home against number 9 North Carolina. Let's dive into a record-setting accomplishment for Luca Orlando as a redshirt senior from Sacramento, California. I spoke to Jake Stanley, Assistant Sports Communications Director, and he said, quote, "The new American record in the 200-yard butterfly is the culmination of that journey, represents an athlete who has tirelessly worked to be the best." How cool is that? Now let's take a quick look at what the rest of the week has to offer for our Bulldog athletics. We're looking at the Tide rolling in just in time for Saturday, which also happens to be the UGA versus Alabama gymnastics meet in Stegman Coliseum. UGA's track and field team will be in Arkansas competing in the Razorback Invitational, and the UGA's men and women swim and dive teams will be celebrating their seniors as they wrap up their dual seasons this Saturday right here in the heart of Athens, Georgia. Now, I wasn't kidding when I told you a lot was happening in sports world this week. That's all we have for you this week, but we look forward to seeing you back on Monday.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie. So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org.